Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Human Services Committee members. We've heard about the great success of what this pilot program in the last years have turned into. The self-determination program, when successful, really brings transformative resources for individuals who get services through the regional centers. However, with great intention comes potential barriers that doesn't meet the mark of what we wanted this program to look like. So SB 1281 is looking to address some of those concerns we saw from this report. SB 1281 is looking to standardize and streamline the procedures. We have stories of parents who are told that they are bad moms because they're seeking for help because they want to do this extra program for them that is preventing them from being part of this. So there's a couple of things we want to do with SB 1281. We want to ensure that regional centers respect a participant's provider choice. We want to empower the participant. They know best what is going to work for them. The parent or guardian knows best of what's going to work for the individual that's going to go through SDP. We don't want there to be a one-size-fits-all for every single individual. We want to make sure they have the ability to pick what services and what providers they will have access to. And we want to clarify that the cost with the financial management services cannot be passed on to the participants. It is not the participant's responsibility, or should it be their burden when a payment does not go through. And lastly, we want to make sure that included in the annual report that is given to us, the legislature, that we include the adequacy of financial management services. Are they working? Do we need new FMS? And so forth. So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to now turn to my witnesses.
Mr. Chair, members, Kurt Child with Disability Voices United. We want to thank Senator Menjivar for her commitment to this issue and the self-determination program, and a good champion she's been working with our community over the course of this year, and we appreciate as we move an important piece of legislation that we think will help improve the self-determination program, which we believe is really the future of what the delivery of developmental services in California should look like. But they've also requested frustrations with the overly complicated processes that have been unnecessarily imposed on the program. The second piece is that we've found that's been a critical barrier to including persons with diverse backgrounds, color, and geography. So we, like the Senator stated, are hopeful that this can continue to help move individuals living independent lives in their communities, and we urge your aye vote on that.
Thank you very much. Our next witness.
Thank you, Chair and members. My name is Oscar Mercado, and I'm an individual with autism and a participant in the self-determination program served by the Valley Mountain Regional Center. I'm also the communication and outreach manager at the Integrated Community Collaborative. The ICC organization supports mostly Latino and Spanish-speaking families to navigate the systems that serve people with developmental disabilities. The self-determination program has been life-changing for me. I'm here today thanks to the SDP that pays for staff to bring me here in support in my efforts in advocacy. The SDP has also kept me from being isolated and provided opportunities for socialization by pushing me out of my comfort zone and integrating me into the community, which is vital for personal growth and adult independence. I have a personal assistant charged with helping me with my career goals. Someday I hope to join the seminary and become a Roman Catholic priest. I want to use that position to further advocate for the IDD community within the Latino population and hopefully become a beacon of inspiration for many of those who live under the shadows of this society, that they may realize that they can achieve their goals and dreams and to not be afraid. But the way the SDP has been implemented creates many barriers and roadblocks. It took well over a year to get me started into the SDP. Eventually, I made it into the SDP, and then I started to face new obstacles from the financial management services, who are supposed to pay for the services by distributing the budget accordingly to my employees. Their processes are confusing and way too complicated, so it creates fear about getting into the program. And sometimes these FMSs aren't even doing what they're paid to do. They cause delays in communicating with the client and employees, confirming or verifying the information in documents. One example of the obstacles I encountered regarding the FMS was that one of my employees wasn't getting paid on time. This tardiness from the FMS caused me to fear losing a trustworthy employee because of late payment. Even though they eventually did pay the employee all the hours worked that month prior, I did not need the additional worry and stress of losing my employee due to tardiness on behalf of the FMS. The program is designed to be liberating and non-stressful, but there is so much bureaucracy and not enough accountability. SB 1281 will change that. This is why the bill is so important. SB 1281 will ensure that if employees aren't paid, the FMS will be liable for labor code violations and not the SDP clients or their families. These many barriers are why the Latino community is significantly underrepresented in the program. Many Latino families have never even heard of the SDP, and even if they have, they often get discouraged from participating due to these barriers from the FMS and the regional centers stating that it's too hard. The bill requires DDS to make measurable progress in
30
equitable
seconds,
enrollment
please.
by race and ethnicity, which is critical for our community. And I want to personally thank Senator Menjivar for her incredible support for our community and authoring SB 1281. The self-determination program is amazing, and I want other IDD participants to have the same chance to benefit from it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Do we have any witnesses in opposition? Please come forward. Any witnesses in opposition? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to committee for any questions or comments from any members. Okay. Seeing none, I'll invite the author to close.
Thank you so much, fellow assembly members, colleagues. This is a step in the right direction. My bill is asking that there be measurable improvements to achieving equity. And without this being in statute, I fear that we won't move towards that. So with that, respectfully asking for an aye vote.